So right, how you doing this morning, folks? There's Cattys, Tales from the Shed. This must be episode 3, I reckon. So how's everyone doing today? As you can see, I'm donned a pair of steam puck glasses today, my new hat, because my other one's in the wash because I've been going out running and it stinks of sweat right now, so that's hanging out on the line and taking advantage of this dry sunshine right now. So how you all doing? I'm just having a cup of the old, it's not Darjeeling today, I'm actually having a cup of Assam, courtesy of John, and it's absolutely gorgeous as well. So how's it going, folks? What you been up to? Is everyone coping all right with this, with the lockdown or whatever you want to call it, to do with the coronavirus? You know, don't really know what to say today. I'm sort of, I've got to take these off a minute. I'm actually going out this morning. I'm actually going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone again. I'm not going out for a run, but I'm just sort of got my day sack packed, and there's a little woodland near me where again there's not a lot of people about, and I'm going to go and have a little bimble out and have a spot of brunch, a bit of bacon and egg and all that sort of thing for my brunch really. So that's my plan for today. Alright, I'm sort of getting some nice comments from people saying that they're kind of enjoying the you know, Tales from the Shed. Right now, I'm kind of, I don't know what to say. I'm only joking, I don't know, you know what I mean. Yesterday, I made myself, you know, sitting out in the shed as you do. I got myself a piece of wood because one of our, you know, the coffee table's now only got 3 legs, so I've had to stack books up under the other leg. Anyway, what I've done was I made myself another little spoon. Now look at this one, this is very nice and delicate. Hey, look at that, nice and small one. It's kind of like a little canoe spoon, but obviously a little baby one. And then what I've done was I burnt a little pattern into it. That's about as, you know, that's about as exciting as it gets really. But a nice little spoon there, something to slip in my pocket. It is actually about, you know, I haven't got massive hands, but it's obviously just about fits in the palm of my hand, I suppose. Yeah, so I sort of did a bit of carving yesterday, potted around like I suppose everybody has, haven't we? We've all been sort of bloody moving bits around and repacking stuff, and I've even found stuff that that I've kind of mislaid and not used for years. One of them was me old steel cup, and this is actually a second one because this one's actually dated from 2006. So I actually thought this was one that I had in the military, but it wasn't. But it's funny, isn't it, how you sort of hold kit and then all of a sudden, you know, in situations such as this that we don't have too often, fortunately enough, you end up finding kit that you've not used for years. So I dug out my little dug out this stainless steel cup, and I suppose the beauty of it is that the Nalgene bottle actually, it sits inside there, so it's quite a nice, you know, little composite bit of kit there. I haven't got a stove for it or anything else. I still like to use my my little burner, you know. Obviously where I've never drunk so much tea out in my shed as I have done this last few days. And then obviously I've got this little this lovely little stove for sitting the pots on, and it just slots together like so. This was about £1 odd. You know, if you know, this is off of Geek, I think, and you know, just it come from China. But anyway, so that's about it, you know what I mean? I think, you know, I'll say that's about it, and then I'm continuing the conversation. So yeah, I'm having a brew, sort out a few bits, and then as I say, my day sack's loaded. I might even change it actually. I might even use my Steuben, because I want to take my frying pan and that out with me as well, and I don't think I'll be able to get it into that one, so I might have to transfer some kit over into my Steuben rucksack, my stubborn, and as I say, go out for a few hours. I was actually surprised last night. I went out for a run, and near me, one of the runs that I do, it's like a 6-mile circular route, and last night I bumped into a guy that I used to work with, and he was telling me that where it's a circular route, it's a nature reserve there, and the nature reserve has taken it on itself to sort of bolt all the gates shut, so no one could sort, you know, unless you want to climb over the gates, no one can actually get in there, you know. So it's which I can't understand why. I mean, they're saying it's for security as well, but you know, you know, as long as the main vehicle gate's locked, you know, and it's a bit of a drive to get in there anyway, you wouldn't want to be going and breaking in there and nicking a, you know, a packet of rolls or something out of the actual building. You know, they've shut that for quite a long time as well. So you know, it's quite a vast area there, and I don't know how they're going to police that one, whether they're just shutting gates, bolting gates up for the sake of it. But you can really, if you wanted to, just climb over and get in that way. But as I say, so I've been going out and just having to, you know, think about my other routes and use other routes for running and stuff like that at the moment. So yeah, but I was actually quite surprised. There was quite a few people out. I don't mean there was like loads of people. There wasn't crowds of people. It wasn't London Underground train sort of status. It was more sort of like just the odd one person I was walking past, you know, sort of like, you know, people still saying hello to you and such on and so forth. People ain't got masks on and gloves and everything else. They really are just going out, and they obviously just want to get out and brush off the cobwebs and just go for a little walk, you know, in the sort of late evening. I imagine that's what most people are doing at the moment, apart or going out early in the morning. What I have noticed, I've had so far, the badges are going, all right. I mean, I've still got a number left, you know, there's still quite a few left, but they are going now. So if you are interested in purchasing a badge and you get this far into the video, then obviously the best thing to do really is to look at my at the community page on YouTube on my channel, and all the information all there in regards to PayPal and stuff like that. And what I've been trying to do is get the badges out as soon as possible. At the moment I wanted to send them out first class, but I was chatting to one of the staff in the post office, and they gave me the option to obviously buy it first or second class postage, and at the moment they said it's not really much difference from choosing either. So I'm sending most of the stuff second class, but you know, you'll get the badges as soon as people are ordering them. I'm almost trying to get out and get them sent so they're in the post to people. I've had people from America purchasing them, which is absolutely amazing, and obviously people in the UK as well. I find it very humbling that people that they want to buy a badge related to me, you know. So you know, I'm really grateful for that. Right, so we can't do a video and not talk about a bit of kit, can we? Now, this is the frying pan cover, obviously made by Mr. Fryers, David Fryers. And not long ago, I purchased one of these stainless steel frying pans from the Pathfinder school. I didn't actually purchase it from the Pathfinder school because, you know, as you well know, if you live in the UK and you order anything from America, unless it's sent as a gift, you'll get charged through the nose for postage and stuff like that. So I actually bought one from Heine Haynes. Oh no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I ordered it originally from Heine Haynes, and then I got it from somewhere else. And I love it. The reason why I bought it, first of all, I was watching some time ago. I was watching, you know, I was hitting a bit of YouTube, and I was watching what's his name, Corporal's Corner. And if you know his channel, massive channel, you know, it wouldn't need. I'm insignificant to someone such as him on YouTube, and he was actually doing some popcorn. He was making bacon popcorn, and I thought this was just a brilliant. It was the lid that sold me more than anything with it, and obviously it's got high sides on it as well, so I can use it as a plate. And the handle's quite good. Obviously it's one of those that flips down and lock, but it also locks quite well as well, and sits pretty flush on the oh, what's happening there? The handle's popped out of that the hinge. Oh, that doesn't do it any. But bear with us a sec, folks. Don't know what's going on now. I'm gonna need to put my glasses on because I can't fucking see it. And I have the Litec frying pan, which is very similar. You know, it's very similar in the way it locks off and everything else. And then Litec, in their infinite wisdom, decided to bring out the frying pan where the handle's actually wrapped around the side of the pan as opposed to this one. And God knows why they did that. I mean, why reinvent the wheel? I mean, it was as good as, you know. But anyway, I invested in one of these in the Pathfinder one. It's got the Pathfinder spear thing on the bottom there, associated with the Pathfinder school and Dave Canterbury. And as I say, I just keep some more of my little chopping board in there, and then it goes nice away safely into this bag made by Mr. Fryers. So I want to take this out today to obviously use to do a bit of you know, fry a bit of mid-morning lunch on it, brunch if you like. Yeah, I think that's about it for now. I think really you don't really need to see anything else. So I could sort I want to have a shout out to my mate Mick Kinsley, because I was chatting to him on the phone this morning, and we're keeping each other sort of our morals high and having a laugh about the current situation, not taking the piss out of people with the coronavirus. We're just talking about things in general. And there's that old saying, in it, as a photographer or whoever, you're not supposed to work with animals or children, are you? Right now, this morning I've got my little methylated my little Trangia stove on the go with the kettle on, and I've got myself a brew on, right, get some water on the go. Dog's decided that she wants to come in here, so I've let the dog in. I've put her on top of my little rucksack here for her to sit on, somewhere nice and soft. And while I'm chatting to Mick, in her infinite wisdom, she decides to jump off, go through my legs and knock the bloody stove. So now I've got a fire on my hands. Right, now, nothing bad, you know what I mean, but obviously the methylated spirits had mixed with the water that was in the kettle. I've had to flick open the door, kick the dog out, and then obviously dampen it with a towel, with a massive towel. I've just suffocated the flames out, put it out, and then I've had to douse the floor with water to ensure that obviously the methylated spirits was all diluted and that the flames were obviously extinguished. So a bit of a, that's my fault, you know. It's not the dog's fault, it's my fault. Fucking being a silly bloke, really. Talking of that, I think she might want to come in, but she ain't coming in right now because I've still got, even though there's no methylated spirits burning, it's still there. Anyway, so yeah. See the news yesterday. Changing, you know, sort of like talking about the current situation with the coronavirus. It was announced on the news that Prince Charles got the coronavirus. And you kind of think to yourself, how the bloody hell did he get that? No idea. I'm not, you know, I'm not like conspiratorial about it or anything else like that. But how did he get it? Was he out and about? You know, did someone, you know, did he catch it off someone outside? I mean, it's only because I was looking at some stuff on YouTube, and in the actual video they show you on YouTube, I think it might have been Sky News or something like that. And the Doris that was actually talking, she was looking at a mobile phone. And she didn't really have a lot to say other than the fact that Prince Charles had been diagnosed with the coronavirus. He's only got mild symptoms, but he's been diagnosed with the coronavirus. And she kind of continually said that, and there wasn't really a lot else in her conversation. And it makes you wonder how those sort of people get it. And then the video they actually show you is the footage is actually Prince Charles is walking around wherever he is, and he's shaking hands with everyone. So is that old footage of him sort of shaking his hands? Why do they put footage up of him sort of walking around shaking hands with everyone when they're telling you the #1 rule with this coronavirus is obviously not to sort of like be within sort of 20, 30 feet of people, and you know, you shouldn't be shaking hands and sticking your tongue down people's throats. Not that he was doing that, but you know what I'm saying. You know, you get what I'm saying. You're just getting it from my little point of view. You know what I mean? I couldn't sort of work that one out myself. I don't care. I'm not like, you know, as I say, I'm not being conspiratorial about it or anything else. As you know, get well, Prince Charles, you know what I mean, and all that. Hopefully you'll be on the recovery very quickly. I'm sure you won't have to struggle too much with doctors and all that. I'm sure you've got quite a good medical team to sort you out, you know. Not quite as good as my one, but, you know, all the same, you know. But, yeah, it did strike me as a bit of a weird one, that. Not weird, but, you know, a bit Twilight Zone-y, you know what I mean. But other than that, you know, you're sort of hearing that Spain has now overtaken China with deaths and such like to do associated with the coronavirus. Yeah, weird, isn't it, how it's all gone? I mean, it's sort of like, it makes you wonder with Italy, because I mean, like earlier on, I was, you know, sort of like with Italy, for example, they were saying that the age parameter. There's a lot of old people out in Italy, and obviously that's associated with people passing away with the illness. In China, apparently as well, they've got a lot of people of old age. But apparently with the men, there's a lot of smokers. So with the old fellas, so but they're obviously living to a ripe old age being a smoker, but then they're passing away with the coronavirus. So it's all sort of like, yeah, weird old stuff, isn't it? I was a bit excited actually. I was chatting earlier about, you're going through all your kit. I was chatting to Mick earlier, and he was saying that, he's been sort of sorting out bits of kit that he's going to sell, and then he's found out, I can make use of that and all the rest of it. Well, I found something in my kit that I thought my wife might have chucked away, because she has a bit of a habit of doing that. Like when you get a hole in your underpants and things like that, and my wife will say to me, your underpants have got a hole in them, and then she'll rip them and throw them away. Why do they do that? And I actually thought that she might have done that to one of my, to this gillet. Now this gillet, I've had it for a long time, and I absolutely love it. I reckon it's something that the late Mors Gahansky would have been proud of as well. It's fit for the bin, right? It's torn, it's ripped, it's got burn holes in it, and God knows what else. But you know what? I love this top. And I suppose if I loved it that much, then why did I let it go missing? I don't know, just happened I suppose. But I've got it back now, and I'm really pleased, because I do love it. It folds up quite small. And I'm going to see if I can make a place for it in my Desmuck kit. Talking about my Desmuck kit, I've been using, obviously, you people know that I use my Steuben rucksack and all the rest of it. I've been using that quite a lot. But when I was out on a couple of camps, when I was out with Barney a short while ago, if there's one thing I hate doing, is when I've got a rucksack on my back, I hate being laden down with extra bags. Which is, once I found myself being like that with a Steuben, possibly twice, because what had happened was, obviously the problem with the Steuben is I'm packing that to its limit, and that doesn't matter how compact I try and get my kit, I'm packing that to its limit. Okay, and then some time ago I had a rucksack. Well, I've got rucksacks coming out my arse like most of us have, and I'll show you. See that rucksack there? If you pick that up, that's a rucksack from Salute. Now it's a 50-litre rucksack. Bearing in mind I'm using sort of like a Steuben, which is 35 litres, but I'm not packing that out to the hilt. What I like about it is the fact I do like an external pocket, and the fact being able to put a water bottle, maybe some rations and that sort of thing externally, rather than having to keep going into your rucksack. Whereas I find with something like that at the moment, I'm still packing water and such like inside it. I haven't got the confidence really to put water on the outside of that rucksack, so I'm putting them on the inside. But admittedly, I do like it. It was only about £35, that rucksack, really cheap, and I'm kind of liking it as well. So my Sabre 45 that I've got with the side pouches, that'll probably be a winter sack if I ever again decide to sort of bring out, sort of wintry, bring out wintry gear. I'm toying on the idea now of maybe tonight or tomorrow night I'm going to set the Dutch hoop bivvy up, poncho or tarp out in the garden, and have a kip out in the garden. Alright, that's about as adventurous as it gets, but no worries, it's still outside, it's still out in the fresh air, and it's still been quite cold here actually in the UK. It's still frosty, waking up to a frosty morning and such like, but hey ho, it's it's part and parcel of what you do and what you enjoy, I suspect. So yeah, I am sort of like, just gives me that little bit extra where I might want to pack, say, the frying pan if I want to make some popcorn up or whatever. It just makes it that little bit easier. But then again, a little bit of forethought, if I am just going out for a weekend and I'm sort of setting myself my own personal challenge where I only want to have a small ration pack, then what I'll do is I will obviously leave the frying pan at home, and then I will use everything from the titanium pot and my Pathfinder mug just to do all my cooking in, my pastas and mash and jerky and rice and such like, and sort of just have to bit of forward planning, I think, really. Right, as you well know, I've got a Helicon Tex poncho that I've been using for a little while now, and I love it. They pack down really nice and small, nice and flat as well, so they sort of don't take up a lot of space in the Bergen. And it got me thinking, you know what, I ended up purchasing a second one. I've got a new one as well, and this one is the I think it's the Polish cam, so it's a slightly darker cam. And the reason why I've got them different colours really is just because in case I want to use one as a kind of a garment to sort of keep as waterproof, use a poncho as what a poncho is used for. But what I noticed as well, and obviously my thought, is that no disrespects to any tarp. Now this is the OEX tarp, okay, and there's the poncho. So it actually kind of takes up less room, believe it or not. One, because that's quite still a bulky item to sort of pack and squeeze into wherever you want in your rucksack, whereas these pack up nice and, you know, as flat as, and then they're nice and handy just to slide in down the side of your rucksack. And for two of these, it's almost as cheap as buying some of your top end ponchos, some of your top end tarps as well. So yeah, so I ended up I've now got two. So I've got a Polish one, Polish sort of cam, and then I've got obviously the US cam as well. So I'm going to be taking the Polish one out with me today and set that up. Anyway, I still like these tarps, you know, I still take it out with me. If I've got room in the rucksack, I will take it every now and again. But let's put that back up there. But as I say, you know, I'm taking both these now, and they're as good, you know, they're as good as. So I'm liking those. All right. So I've got Rosie. Rosie's out with me. She's out. So I'm going to take her out for a walk today. I didn't take her out with me running yesterday. The day before I come home, and she had a bit of a limp, didn't you? And you know, she's no spring chicken anymore. So whether or not she's you know, she's taking a little bit of a kicking, you know, on her legs and stuff, I'm not entirely sure. But when she's out running, I think because sometimes I'm running on gravelly tracks and stuff like that, it might have a little bit of impact on her legs and stuff. But she doesn't come home sort of limping too much when we go running through fields and such like, do you, girl? So I'll be taking her out today because obviously, you know, it's what she needs the exercise as well, doesn't she? But I'm still trying to take her out every day, you know, because there's nothing worse. But I'll rest her up, let her give her leg a rest, and take her out today, eh, girl? You alright? Yeah? Yeah, of course you are. Oh, my little girl, look, see? Anyway, so let's put her down. Right, folks, that's it. I'm off. Alright, I'm going to go repack my stuff and load this video up at some point today. And I'll catch you later. I might even do another video of me just out, you know, sort of cooking a bit of bacon, sort of boring stuff really, nothing out of the ordinary. Alright, so as usual, alright, take care, stay safe. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. If you're interested in the badges, please check out the community section on YouTube from my channel. And also don't forget the podcast. I've actually hit 400 listeners at the moment on my podcast, so please keep it coming. Please share the love as well. Please share my podcast if you want to. You know, if you want to sort of, you know, your worst enemies, the people you really don't like in life, share it with them, because they'll you know, it's sort of like there's nothing worse. Or the other side of it, if you've got your real best friends, then share it with your best friends as well. All right. So that's it, folks. All right, that's another Tales from the Shed. All right, so take care. I'll try and get one out. I'll try and get another one out tomorrow if I can, if you're not bored of them. All right, so take care, folks. There's Catty signing out, and I'll see you on the flip side. Laters.